saying, like, after all this, you've built up a bit of a following, as you said, people recognizing the shop and whatnot. And I feel like a lot of people, like, can go to their head. I mean, I think we've all seen on Instagram, climber gets a couple of thousand followers and suddenly he's, I don't know, like a celebrity in his head. But I feel like looking at your Instagram, looking at your social media and the way you present yourself, you have the climbing there, but you do seem to push a lot of, like, issues and try to use it for the good. And you, like, push issues that you think needed the attention. Is that something that's, like, important to you?
It's like Hot Fuzz with the greater good. I guess, like, I don't want it to just be about climbing. And I guess the two main things I focus on are, one, my baking and putting tasty things up there.
I have tasted your macaroons and they were spot on.
Thanks. And the other thing is kind of a few more environmental issues. And I guess for me, it's all well and good having a platform of people that follow you for climbing, and that's nice, but it's also quite something that we all selfishly pursue and is quite self-absorbed in some respects. So I think it's kind of nice to bring awareness to important issues, especially with things like joining POW and having a bit more education on carbon literacy. I figured, like, with the sponsors and the brands that I'm associated with now, I'm learning so much more about all the environmental issues that I feel like I've got more of a background that I can put these things forward now.
Yeah.
And a bit more support to do so. And it's really nice. Like, I think I've carefully kind of selected the sponsors I have, but a lot of them are like, we don't care about your following. We care more about the stuff that you kind of want to stand up for. And so I think in kind of going down that road, I started to research a few more issues and go, actually, these are things that we should be talking about, not just climbing. So, like, things like the people that we bank with as much as anything. And I guess it's trying to get people to change for the positive, because we are getting more global warming. Like, the climate is not what it was. There is climate change, as much as you get climate change deniers. Yeah. And it's like, I mean, it's something that we came across. It's like, the more you get weird weather, but it's becomes more of a regularity, that is climate change. If it's a one-off anomaly, then it's not, but it is. We are getting weirder weather and it's becoming more regular. Obviously, all the glaciers are much higher up than they should be, which is a really obvious one. And so I think if we've got the platforms and if we've got the information to hand that we can put forward, then I think it would be really awful not to.
Yeah. That's nice. But be honest, was one of the big factors for you going into the environmental side the tides being so unpredictable for Big Bang?
I mean, I don't think climate's going to change. Maybe the conditions. That was the whole reason for me joining this.
It's fucking humidity, okay?
Humidity and the heat is awful. I mean, I think it's kind of weird because last year we could have, probably one of the first years ever, you could have gotten it well early in spring. Whereas normally in, like, February, March, you'd be going down there for a bit of a sufferfest.
So it's actually kind of in the favour of the crag.
Until it gets too hot.
That kind of shows how much you believe in it, even though it's kind of benefiting you in this way. Still climate change.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how much it would benefit in the long term once the temperature goes up and keeps on rising. I think it would be a total write-off at some point. So I think it's just something, like, I felt like I was in quite a privileged position where I was getting a lot of interesting and relevant information through ACT, through POW, through Patagonia, and have a voice that has a reasonable following, I guess. And I just felt like you can't not use it.
I have seen that you on your website you've posted blogs where you write up about this type of stuff, so isn't it? Promote it. Push people there.
Yeah, so like obviously, I mean, I've kind of redesigned my website myself, which is just my emmatwyford.co.uk, and
Is there anything you can't do?
Well, it took me a while, to be fair. Like, one of my housemates used to do my website, and she did a much better job than I've done. But it just so I put up the say no to bad banking, which kind of, it's just the tip of the iceberg, really. But I feel like it's also quite a relevant area in that, yeah, we can make our own personal changes, but I felt like that was quite a big one that could influence a lot of people to make personal changes. And it's like the big corporations are where we need to be kind of hitting to say, we have a choice of who we bank with, and the banks invest in things that contribute to climate change, like fracking. I mean, fracking's one of them. The tar oil pipelines, coal, gas, like you name it, they've invested in it, and some of them are still investing in it. And we can turn around and say, actually, I don't agree with you investing in that. I'm going to withdraw banking from you, and go to someone else who is has a much better environmental or ethical policy. And you can look on things like Ethical Consumer at this sort of stuff. And that's where I kind of, like I said, my article is just like the tip of the iceberg. If you really want to go down that rabbit hole, you can go much further down it than I went. But it kind of opened my eyes, because I wasn't banking with someone who was very good. I was banking with HSBC, and I moved. But I also had a few people contacting me after the article saying that it influenced them to change as well, and to start contacting their councils to see who they were banking with. So I was like, I think it does make some difference.
That's really cool. I imagine that's quite nice, because that's actually like real world change that you kind of influenced.
It might not be like my most read blog post or Instagram post, because everyone always looks at the climbing ones, but I was like, and I think this is one of my friends said, is like, you may not hit as many people as you want to, but you're still like getting some people reading it, and the ones who do care about it are going to be the ones who are genuinely interested. So I kind of want to continue with that. I've got like a long-term plan with it, but it's a big work in progress right now. And that'll be setting up a completely separate website that deals with that, but also brings in quite a few more people who are, especially in North Wales, who are really passionate about that, and a lot of them who deal in research and climate change and oceanography. I kind of want them to be able to put across layman's terms in that sense.
That'll be amazing. I recommend everybody go over, follow Emma on Instagram, and check out our website to stay informed, because that's going to be another thing for you to juggle in your life.
Yeah. I like having many balls to juggle, apparently.
Yeah, thanks so much for sitting down having a chat with me. That was great.
Thank you for having me.
This has been Chalk Duck.